Hello everyone, I am Dr.Rohan Grotra. I have secured a rank of 86 in PGI May session, and I was a AIMS fast track student at Delhi Center, and today I am here to speak to all of you and share with you my story and my journey of how I've achieved this rank. Uh, Before I begin, I would like to thank Dr. Sumer and Dr. Deepthi for giving me this opportunity here to sit and discuss and share my journey and my story. So I've done my MBBS from Sikkim Manipal Institute. It is a private college and it is in the periphery where we did not get much exposure to how to prepare for post-graduation entrance examinations. So once I was in my internship, I came to Delhi and I joined my coaching classes. And in my first attempt, I was ranked 14,000 in NEET. But then my first attempt at Central Institute examinations was in 2018 May, where I had secured a rank of around 500 in AIMS, which was the first motivational guide towards cracking these exams, because from 14,000 to achieving 500 was a big thing for me, and that is when I decided that I can also crack the Central Institute examinations. So during 2018 I was studying on my own. I did my self study but was not able to get a rank to get my own stream in Central Institutes. So I gave my NEET 2019. I achieved a rank of 1292 in NEET, but then straight 1 week after that I decided that I want to get into Central Institute. So then I came just right after NEET. 1 week later I joined DAMS Delhi, the AIMS fast track TNT course, because it was a very crisp course of 6 months, and I decided that I would follow nothing else apart from the advice given by Dr. Sumer and Dr. Deepthi and follow the TNT schedule. Initial weeks I was very skeptical about how to approach the TNT. How do I utilize the time? Is the course sufficient? Are the class notes sufficient about how to go for revision? But then once sir came online on Facebook and then he addressed the students, and then I posted my doubts, sir, about how do I approach, what schedule do I follow, because we had a crisp schedule of our classes ending by mid of April. So sir said very simply that just follow the schedule as per TND and that will be enough, and then plan your revision in that way that you are able to complete it right before AIMS. And I blindly followed that. I did not use any extra resources. I just followed my TND schedule. I utilized certain resources like Medicos and the AIMS capsule. Now regarding this TND course, I would like to specify that all the classes, all the subjects were very target oriented towards AIMS, PJ and JIPMER. Every faculty used to come teach us. They used to teach in a way which was very much oriented towards AIMS and PJ and JIPMER. So we had no worries that we need to study something extra to crack these exams. So what my schedule was, that before every TND class, what I used to do was I used to make a plan on a paper that whatever resources I have at my home, like my own notes, like previous CBT solutions, TND papers, previous TND papers, Facebook questions, some extra question banks, I used to plan that I have to finish all this within that particular week before my TND. I used to decide, I used to plan it up, and of course it is not feasible to complete all of it, but I used to complete 80% of my targets, and I used to be satisfied that I am completing 80% of my targets. I used to go to the class, give my TND test very sincerely, and I used to be among top 5 or top 10 rankers. But that was not it. Once the TND class was used to be over, I used to quickly, in about 4 to 5 hours, used to go through all those notes and again compile them in a single place so that I can have a look at a later date just for the revision before the actual AIMS. Now the other resources which I used was Medicos. That is a wonderful app to use. I used it very extensively. Before the AIMS capsule was launched, I utilized Medicos in 3 ways. I used all the previous AIMS solutions, the video solutions, which are fantastically given in it. because those recalls are very genuine. Nobody has altered any options or made up their own questions as they are given in most of the guidebooks available in the market. So what I did not follow any guidebook. The simplest thing was I used to go to Medicos, solve those previous questions in PDFs, and to add the cherry on top were the video solutions of previous year AIMS and PGI. I used to have a look at them and compile my questions and go through them. The second resource on eMedicos were the mop-up videos. Most of the faculty have given their mop-up videos which are of extreme importance, and I used to go through them also, make crisp notes, not extensive notes. Repeatedly I used to see them. And thirdly, the one of the very important sources which I used was the DAMS Delhi YouTube channel. Now I utilized it in a way that I used to go through all the interviews. I used to plan that in every week I would watch probably 3 or 4 interviews of all the toppers, gain experience from their own schedule and how they utilize the course, and I used to gain benefit from them. So I used to watch these videos, and that was one of the motivating factors during the weeks when I used to feel low, because every medico, every person, every aspirant who is trying to get into a post graduation will face a dilemma, will face a moment where they feel that it is a depressing mode, where you feel that you should just let go of it, one cannot crack it, one cannot do it. But that moment you have to overcome, only then you will be successful. And to overcome those moments, I had various ways. One of the ways was to go and have watch such motivational videos. Second was that I had a group of very good friends who were always motivating me to study further, because I used to often break down that it is very difficult studying for 15 hours every day to complete all my syllabus, all my targets. So they used to keep pushing me forward, keep motivating me that you can do it. So it is very important to have some motivation and target, and have strong determination that you want to do this, you want to crack this, and you have to achieve this. Thirdly, I would like to speak regarding the TNT course, that this TNT course was more than sufficient, which is required for cracking mid-year institutes. Many people have a dilemma that are 6 months sufficient to crack this exam. I say yes. I was also an ordinary student. Just 6 months back I had a rank of 1200 in NEET, and within 6 months I followed a very simple strategy. I did not widen my horizon of studying too many things. I watched many interviews, I gained experience out of them, and most of the people, in fact all the people, say only one thing, that you read one source many times. That is how you gain out of it. That is how you recall out of it. And every exam is just a recall, because whatever knowledge you have to recall, and you have to apply it on the day of the exam. So that is what I do. I used to read that topic many times. One of our teachers, one of our ENT faculties during the class mentioned that the November rank 1 aims, he used to read very fast. He used to complete his targets, and I was inspired by that okay, this is one good technique, because the syllabus is too much, nobody can complete it, but the person who revises that content is the one who is going to achieve the maximum in the exam at the final day. So I also followed that technique. I used to read very fast. Whatever targets I had made, I used to try to read them thrice, but since it is not possible, I used to at least be able to read it twice, and that was sufficient for me. I used to be satisfied that okay, I am completing the entire content in twice in a day. Thirdly, I would like to say that in every class, every TND class, every faculty is so oriented oriented for making every student get into a central institute. They come, they teach, and they motivate everyone, because most of the people are usually, they are depressed, saying it is not achievable. Only people from central institutes or good government institutes are able to crack, but that is not true. I also come from a very peripheral college where there was no exposure to us regarding post-graduation entrance coaching. We had no exposure. The only exposure which I got was through Facebook, and that also through Dr. Sumer and Dr. Deepti's videos. which were at back then they were just started, the integrated videos. So that is how I got the exposure about what kind of questions are asked. And once I began my internship, I got into the coaching mode, and then I got the overview about how to prepare. And the next thing I would like to talk about is that specifically for PGI, Dr. Sandeep Sharma of the pediatrics faculty of DAMS helped me immensely. I would like to tag him as the gold standard for preparation of PGI exam, since he is also passed out from PGI, and he keeps a track, and he helps students on Facebook. I have never met him personally, I have never attended any class, but for the past 6 months I was in touch with him through Facebook Messenger, and he was very helpful to me. He used to guide me about what to do, what not to do, what to read, what not to read, how to plan your last week, and every now and then he used to keep motivating me. So I wanted to make a special mention of Dr. Sandeep. For people who are preparing for PGI, he is the gold standard faculty. One can tag that medical term, gold standard faculty for PGI preparation, Dr. Sandeep Sharma. Next, I would like to mention about three people who played a very important role in my life. For everyone, family comes first. So yes, my family has been very supportive to me. During the past 6 months, they kept supporting me that all right, you have been studying for so long. For the past 2 years, you've been preparing for NEET, and now you want to prepare further. So yes, you can go for it. You can do it. My family and my grandparents were very supportive for it. Apart from that, I would also like to thank my friends because they were very supportive. All my friends were very supportive to me, and they were always motivating me that all right, you can do this, just keep on pushing. If we couldn't make it, we want you to make it to this institute. Then there are three very special people whom I would like to mention. Firstly, Dr. Govind Sharma. He is one of my college seniors, and he was the first person who introduced me to the prestigious PGI Institute. He was the one who told me about how prestigious this institute is and how one should try to get into it. Second is Dr. Aniket Shinoy. He was one of the toppers of NIMHANS 2018. Although we never met personally, but through Facebook and through the Facebook discussion groups, I interacted with him, and he was one of the persons who ignited in me the spark to crack the central institutes. He was one person whom I found that who had the hunger for knowledge, and that is how I associated with him and interacted with him, and he was also very helpful to me back then in guiding about how to study regarding the central institutes. And then lastly, the most important person I would like to mention is Dr. Apurva Singh, who is herself doing a residency from PGI. She was one of the main motivating factors for me to study, as she always motivated me and was my biggest inspiration to continue studying even after NEET. And because of this, I was very dedicated to crack PGI and AIMS both. So I would like to thank all these people through this video. And I would like to also make a mention of the Facebook Dams Club, which is very useful for people, because what happens is I never had the opportunity to in fact even post a doubt, because many people before me had already posted those doubts, and those doubts used to keep circulating. So in fact those doubts were automatically cleared. I used to open my Facebook, and it used to be filled with all these posts by all the faculties. So my pastime used to be using Facebook, but my Facebook had all the forums and posts and discussions by all these medical faculties only. So that is how I utilized all these resources. Facebook played a very important role. Often people say that Facebook, WhatsApp, all these are very distracting, but if we utilize it in an informative way, then it is very helpful. I utilized Facebook extensively, but not to share photographs or anything. I used to follow forums, people used to put up their doubts, and I used to read them. Every faculty used to put motivational quotes, especially Dr. Sumer. He often makes many motivational videos also. So I used to go through them, and those were those videos which keep on pushing you towards your achieving your goal. And that is very important. Many people just skip it. Oh, this is just a motivational video, what to do with this? But I used to follow all his videos. And yes, one special mention to regarding the AIMS capsule. This was recently launched by DAMS, and it was a very different thing, unique thing, and very helpful, because many people who are not able to attend many classes or have forgotten what was taught in the class, and last moment revision is what everyone needs, and that crisp material was included in the AIMS capsule. So right after my TND finished, it finished around 15th April, and after that I had 15 days in hand to revise all my subjects for AIMS. I utilized AIMS capsule. I had planned that at present the market, our entire field is filled with immense information. We do not know what to read and what not to read. In today's time, it is very important what not to read, because that is how you will be able to complete your selected syllabus, and you repeatedly read it and recall it in the exam. So before way back in February or March itself, I had formulated a plan that right before 15 days before AIMS, I will study only these resources and repeatedly revise them. Back then I did not know that DAMS is coming up with AIMS capsule, but once they launched it, it was precisely the thing one needs 15 days or 20 days before appearing for any exam, be it Central Institute or even NEET. And it was like the cherry on top, because it was the ultimate thing, one can go through at the end. So in the last 15 days, what I did was I just followed three things: AIMS capsule videos, my TND test papers, and my TND notes. These were the only three sources which I used. I went through this, and apart from this, whatever I thought that okay, I missed on this, I missed on that, I did not bother, because if something had to come out of it, I could use my general knowledge which I had been studying over the past 5 years in the MBBS. Because last 15 days is very crucial. One needs to revise all their things, otherwise attending any class, any coaching, any course is not fruitful if you're not able to revise all that matter in the last 15 days. So that is how I utilized. And one very important tip I would like to share with everyone is that be systematic in your studies. Before starting my day every day, I used to start my day, I used to start my studies at around 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and I used to sit and formulate a plan for a day, that I will finish this. I used to plan it on a paper. And at the end of the day, I used to tick it off that okay, I finished this. And at the end of the day, before sleep, I used to be satisfied. Most of the days I used to be happy that okay, I've achieved. Sometimes due to different commitments, if one is not able, then I used to compensate. But this method, if you follow, of systematically noting down what you have to read, what not, that is how you complete your syllabus in time, and that is very important. Most of the people do not follow this. This tip was given by Dr. Sumer long back in one of his videos, and since then I had tried to inculcate this. But after giving NEET, I had decided that I would follow only what Dr. Sumer says, and I would follow a simple strategy. As I mentioned before, I was very skeptical if how I would be able to finish the syllabus, how I would be able to finish the schedule, how to go about the TND. But then one simple reply by Dr. Sumer on Facebook was just follow the TND schedule, read according to that, and revise in the last 15 days according to the importance given for AIMS, second prof, final year, that way. And I simply followed that. Nothing hi-fi, only simple studies. Simple notes, simple studies, and that is how I achieved this rank. And the notes by faculty are very good. Most of the most of the questions in fact were derived from kind of the notes. If you are good and have a good sound knowledge of your notes, that can help you easily answer most of the questions. And a special mention of the video questions. Since AIMS has introduced new pattern of video questions and the new pattern, DAMS was able to very I would say very fast, they were able to inculcate into their curriculum the new pattern of questions which was reflected in the CBT. And it was a very good practice session, because that was required, because we had no prior practice of such kind of questions. So that CBT is very important. And another tip for people who are watching this, one must give each and every CBT or each and every exam that is possible for you. DAMS is this year conducting many CBTs, 4 CBTs I guess. Then one who is preparing seriously should not bother about if they are prepared or not, because a medico can never be prepared for anything in their life. They can only keep increasing their knowledge day by day, and one of the means to increase your knowledge, to test your knowledge, is to give exams and CBTs. That is why it is very important, and I was very sincere in giving my all my tests. Whatever CBT used to be there of any coaching institute, I used to run and give those CBTs and check out my rank and results. Sometimes I used to be depressed, sometimes I used to be happy that I'm performing well. And in the end, yes, I would like to once again thank Dr. Sumer and Dr. Deepthi for arranging this at such a short notice and giving me the opportunity to share my journey and preparation strategy with DAMS. And I'm thankful to DAMS since just 6 months before, right after NEET, I joined them, and I saw myself studying in a very systematic way. Because of constant motivation of teachers, constant tips by teachers, I was able to formulate my plan and I was able to achieve this rank in PGI. I am also hopeful for a good decent rank in AIMS. And in the end, I would like to say that one should not think that one is from a peripheral college or from a private college or from some college where they do not have any exposure to post-graduation entrance coaching classes. I myself come from a private college which is in Sikkim in periphery, where we had no classes, no guidance in how to approach. But what is required at the end of the day is your hard work, your sincerity and your perseverance to achieve something. I was dedicated in achieving a good rank to study in a central institute, and that was my constant motivation. And it is kind of inevitable that people go through ups and downs during their preparation strategy, and in order to overcome that, one should have one motivating factor in their life and one cause about why they want to achieve that. Some people have their interest in the branch, some have in their institute in which they want to do their post graduation from. So find that reason. One should find that reason. I had my reason, and that is why I stuck to it, and that is what I was able to achieve this rank. Because in the end it gets very tiring, very difficult to study for so many hours, for so many days, weeks, months. But if you have that cause in you, if you have that fire in the belly, as said by Dr. Sumer, then you can easily achieve what you want. Be constant in your efforts. Keep small efforts every day, that will eventually lead to success. And yes, in the end I would like to wish you all the best, and thank you to everyone.